Hey folks, Kyle Wilson, Pragmatic Lending. By now, it's in May of 2022. You should have gotten your 2022 property tax notice. If not, expect it in the mail for the next couple weeks, as your final property tax payment is going to be due at the end of June. And so the purpose of this video today, I'm going to show you several things. Number one, how to apply for your homeowner's grant, which you have to do every single year. I emphasize that because many people forget to do that every single year and they lose out on a good refund. Number two, confirm what your final balance is to pay out for your property tax amounts. And then also, I'm going to show you the City of Kelowna's property account website login portal, so you can see how to make recurring payments and double check things to make sure for future years everything's going status quo and working out for you. So this is what your property tax notice will look like. You'll have general information based on your property. You're going to see your folio number, your access code. It's going to be a 6-digit password, your folio roll number. This is how you're going to go into your account and make certain changes. And then also what your final gross amount of property tax balance owing that you currently owe. You'll see here that for 2022, I made some prepayments of $45.97. So my total outstanding balance is only $936. However, because this property is my primary residence, I am going to qualify for the homeowner's grant of $770, which then brings my final adjusted amount to only $166. So that's pretty exciting. But I'm going to show you how to do that to begin with, on how to apply for your homeowner's grant. And this changed in 2020 to 2021. You used to apply for your homeowner's grant with your municipality. For myself, City of Kelowna. Now you actually do it through the province's website, and you'll see that on your property tax statement at the very bottom here. It says, as of 2021, you need to claim your homeowner's grant online at this website. So let's go to that website to finalize that step. So gov.bc.ca/homeowner grant. And you'll come to this site here and you want to apply for your grant for 2022. So apply now online. And it's going to ask you a few questions, privacy, consent. You're going to give away a bunch of information to the government, so you have to accept to that. And then here you're going to enter your jurisdiction and your roll number. So you'll find that just on your form right here. So your jurisdiction and your roll number will be showing there. So I'm going to enter that information right now. And my roll number, I'm going to put in, it's also called your folio number. So if you see it's called the roll number or your folio number, it's the exact same thing. It's going to be like a 5 digits with a period in between. Make sure you put that period in there showing, so it's entered properly. Now here's the other thing. Let me just throw that back on the page here. There we go. Sorry. So you can also search by your property address. If you're having a hard time finding your roll number, you can actually search your property address. Okay. So when I put that in, it found my property address, which is fantastic. So it's got the information it needs, linking my primary residence. I'm going to apply for the current year and hit next here. And oops, sorry, I missed the one question. I'm applying as an owner. So I currently live in the house. I'm one of the owners. I'm going to apply for myself and for my spouse. There's other ways here. If a representative does it for you or a relative, make sure you read those properly if you're doing that for someone else. Hit next. Yes, I'm a Canadian citizen. And yes, I lived and occupied in this property as my principal residence. And here's where I'm going to put in some private information. So my date of birth, my social insurance number, my name, my first name. So put your information in there as you normally would. So I'm going to enter that right now off the screen. So once you've completed that, you hit the next step, of course, and I'll show you that page. Hit next. All right, so once you go to the next page, it's just going to ask you what type of grants you're applying for. So if you actually go back to your property tax statement, there's different grants. If, for example, if you have a disability or if you're a senior, you even get a further deeper discount on that grant. For myself, I'm just going to be applying for what's called the basic grant. So the basic grant is for everybody who has a primary residence in British Columbia. They apply for this regular basic grant. Here is where if you had additional grants, you would read these options and apply for those ones as well if they pertain to you. So make sure you read those to make sure if you're entitled to those extra grants. And here's where I confirm my final information for confirmation. So it's got my contact information, when I submitted it, my roll number, etc. And I'm going to send it to my business email for confirmation that I did complete this. And my phone number. And here it says only one homeowner grant can be claimed by an owner. So obviously I'm doing this on behalf of my spouse and myself. And I certify that this information is correct and complete to the best of my knowledge. I hit submit and everything is good to go. So I'm going to screenshot that just to save it as confirmation. And I'm going to hit, you can hit print confirmation, whatever you like. So I hit okay. So now I'm done. I've completed my homeowner grant application for 2022. I'm going to get back $770, which is fantastic. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to look at my property tax notice. And since I've completed the homeowner grant step, column A no longer pertains to me. In fact, I'll just be doing what the basic grant is, so column B. So after all the adjustments, my final property tax bill is shown here because it's my primary residence. I've prepaid this amount already in 2022. So I only owe the city of Kelowna an extra $166, so that's exciting. So I'm going to go complete that payment after this video is done. And you can do that several different ways. You can log into your online banking, remit that final payment to them through your online adding as a payee. You can go into the city of Kelowna, you can write a check. This property tax bill will tell you all the options. You can do that however you wish. Obviously, online banking is the fastest way to do it. Now, the final step I want to show you is how to see your property tax account in the Kelowna website, right? Now, wherever municipality you're in, they should have a very similar website where you can log in to look at your property tax accounts and details. So under that, I'm going to go to property taxes under City Hall, and then under property tax and assessment tools, you're going to see here, access your property tax account. So I'm going to click property account. Now, if you haven't already created an account, I have another video that can show you how to create your account. It's a fantastic way to stay on top of any properties that you own and the accounts and how things are managed. And I'm going to go, so once I'm logged in here, I'm going to see my property that I have here that I just did for my primary residence. And it's going to show me several details. So it's going to show what my current account balance is. Okay, now if you remember, that says $936. That is basing it on the total column A if I did not apply for the property tax, the homeowner's grant. So you have to be very cautious, and if you have completed that step one in filing your homeowner's grant application, your new balance is actually only $166. So you wouldn't necessarily trust this final balance for 2022 showing that until on their end, they finally activated that homeowner grant portion, which you're going to see they've done estimates for you. So the 770 is shown there. And that's where you can keep track of where your tax balance amounts are sitting and so forth. Now, another great feature about this property tax account is you can download all your past notice of assessments or property tax assessments for that. So it's a good way to go back and see what your property tax bills were. But the best part about it is you can set up pre-authorized withdrawal payments. And that's what I've done. So you'll see here, I have a reference for a monthly withdrawal amount of $462 effective July 10th, 2022. So what this is saying is they actually have stopped taking my monthly withdrawal from 2021 because on the final payment, depending on however you do that final payment, you might owe $936 or $166, or you might be in the surplus, depending on what grant you apply for. So this is very important. When you set up authorized payments with the City of Kelowna, they will authorize the transaction for 11 months out of the 11 months out of 12 months remaining. And why you need to know that is that final month in June, you have to make the final payment based on what your actual balance remaining is owing. So that's why it's showing here in July 10th, they're not going to take any more money out of my account until I've made that final payment based on what I'm going to pay. So obviously I'm going to pay the $166 through my online banking. And once that goes through in June, effective July, the new payment will take effect, automatic withdrawal, $462. Now, you have to also be clear here that you got to be cautious as to what that automatic payment is going to be. They have simply taken an estimate for me based on what my property tax balance was for the last 12 months. And so $462 times 12 months could actually be quite a bit more than what my taxes might be next year, or it could be quite a bit less. So it's important for you to go into your property tax account every 6 months just to double check stuff, just to make sure the tax amount is coming out as you expect. You've budgeted per month what makes sense. But most above all these other things, number one rule is make sure you realize you have to make that final payment in June every single year manually through your online banking. And then if you already have the automated payments set up, the City of Kelowna will take care of recurring payments moving forward. So this is really good just for those who do handle their own property tax payments. Now, remember, if you're a mortgage client of ours, there's two ways that your property taxes can be remitted. So you do it manually on your own through the City of Kelowna's website, you take care of all this, or the bank that you're with, they might actually make your property tax payment for you. So it's important to reach out to your mortgage broker, reach out to myself, and confirm how your taxes are being paid, because you might not have to do any of this. In fact, your bank might just remit all your payments for you at the end of the year, in June of every year, for that payment, because they've been slowly taking out a monthly payment with your mortgage principal and interest. So then they have that amount to pay for you at the end. Now, there's benefits and pros and cons to each one. We always encourage people to set up their City of Kelowna website payments directly so they have more control of exactly what their bill is, and setting up recurring monthly payments with the City of Kelowna. Because sometimes when you set it up with your bank, it can get kind of confusing if they take too much per month or if they take too little, especially when you apply for that homeowner's grant, because the bank will take the full amount every month for 12 months, but you still need to apply for the homeowner's grant. The bank does not do that for you. And many people can get confused with that, thinking that they've already applied for it and lose out on $770. So we highly encourage for you to keep track of it. Log into your municipality, if it's a City of Kelowna or somewhere else in British Columbia. Keep track of your monthly payments. Make that final payment manually once you know what your final total is owing. And then just make sure it's recurring moving forward. So we really hope this video has helped you in that. But again, please, if you're unaware of how your property taxes are paid, whether it's through the bank or through yourself directly with the city that you're with, please contact us and we'll make sure to help you out. Thank you so much for watching. Bye-bye.